So, good morning, everyone. I see many of you have already joined this session. We'll give everyone a few more minutes because we are 3 minutes before the scheduled starting time, which is, of course, not a problem, but take a seat. Hope you got yourself a drink before we start with the second session of today. If you haven't joined the previous session, my name is Prof, and I have the privilege to be your host for this session and the ones that follow. Maybe it's nice to start with putting the name of your invitation, of your institution and the city where you're based in the chat box. It's always nice to see where everyone in the virtual room is from. We got subscribers for over 40 countries in Europe, so that can be interesting. I saw in the previous session, we even got attendees from Mongolia, from Russia, from Ukraine, from Spain, from Italy, so literally from every corner of the continent, which is what I personally like a lot, and it's certainly a lot more difficult if we would do this session in person. So that's actually one of the positive sides of having this event virtually. Now let's wait a few more minutes until it's 10 o'clock Central Eastern European time. And as you all know, the core question of this forum is how do higher education institutions continue to stay relevant, how to adapt to an ever-evolving world, and to address the requirements of modern students as a future professionals and international citizens. And in this session and the ones that follow, we'll try to answer this question by the use of a few sessions about employability. And employability refers to the attributes of an individual that make him or her able to gain and maintain employment. And no need to explain to you, this is a very important topic in today's world. Now, we've already completed the plenary session provided by Dr. Angus MacDonald, and in a few minutes from now, Professor Segal, I hope I pronounced it well, will give you a presentation about how universities can help students to identify what motivates them, the professions that match their motivation, and the skills they need to develop in order to access these professions. Now, after this session, Win Davies will provide a session about the importance of critical thinking skills, after which we welcome Angus MacDonald back for a session about the importance of self-awareness for employability. And we close this part of the day with a session from Brigitte Hughes about Pearson for Work, which is a solution that bridges the gap between education and employment and has recently successfully been implemented in Italy. So that's kind of like a real world example of this solution. Now, if you see in this agenda any session that you haven't subscribed for yet, any of the 3 that follow after this one, please visit the event's website, which you can see on top of the screen. And there you can subscribe for any of the future sessions that follow. Please know that each session takes place in a different Zoom event. So you will need to dial in for each session separately, and you can find the links to each session in the confirmation email that you have received in your mailbox. So it's not on the website, but you really have to go to your own mailbox, find the confirmation email from which you find the link to dial into the right session. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat box here. At the end of this presentation, we'll take a few minutes to answer a few of them. And if you have any after session questions, or if you have a little bit more detailed questions that you would like to share with us, send an email to ihave@pearson.com, and we'll get back to you with an answer shortly after the event finishes. It's 10 o'clock. I'd like to introduce to you the second presenter of the day, which is Professor Segal. And Sui is a co-founder of Motiva. He's also a former dean of the Business School of Derby University in Israel. And he's also a doctor of organizational psychology at the Paris Descartes University. And Sui is an international renowned expert in the areas of human motivation and careers. And Sui will be talking about how universities can help students to identify what motivates them, the professions that match their motivation, and the skills they need to develop in order to access these professions. Over to you, Sui. You can share your screen.
Okay. I will try to share it. I have some problems, so I apologize. Do you see my screen? Is
Yes,
it okay?
I do see.
You see my full screen?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I will close the camera because I have a bit problem of broadband here. So I stop the camera and I continue in vocal mode. So hello everybody. We'll talk today about how to turn universities into hubs of successful careers. I am Segal, the co-founder of Motiva, and thank you for being here to listen to what I have to say. And we are starting with one of the key challenges facing university. And as the dean of what was 15 years ago the biggest business school in Israel, we had 6,000 students, undergraduate and postgraduate students. And we discovered that one of the main problems, the main challenge that was facing my university is that students ask themselves, is this study program is right for me? Because we found out that too many students enroll in a course or study without really knowing how well it suits them. Why they are going to this study? Why they are starting this study? Because family pressure, because it's very fashionable, because their friends are doing it, because they think they will earn a lot of money. Many bad reasons. And what we discover, and that's the best study program with the best professors, will never make a student who is not motivated or who has little motivation or limited motivation. It will not succeed in his study, on her study, and her entry or his entry into the professional life. So this is a key challenge. We are getting students, they are starting something, and it's not what they want, finally. And what the students are looking for. So we try to find some statistics about what are the main motivation of students. And we found that several research from 2018 and 2020, for 80% of the students, an interest for a job or field of study is an important criterion in their career planning process. So almost half of the students, the interest is a key issue for their career planning. Even more, 58% of the students stated that understanding one's own desire is essential on the path to finding a career plan. 30% of the students did not receive any guidance. So it's very important for them. They want to do what interests them, but 37% of the students did not receive any guidance or support on understanding what is my desire. So from one side, it's very important for them. From the other side, they don't know how to do it exactly. And I will tell you a story later on to present this problem. This is another study made in USA. And among the graduates surveyed in the US study, the most popular reason for wanting to change majors was, I want to pursue my passion. More than 26% of the students want to pursue passion. But there is a problem. And the problem is that they don't know what motivates them. They don't really know what interests them. They don't really know what are the strengths and competencies. And it is not a mistake, because in many educational systems around the world, except maybe Singapore or some country like this, we don't teach them what are the career answers, what motivates them, what is the most suitable job or career for them. And what they are doing, they are entering in the universities without knowing what they want really. They know that they want to have a success in their professional life, but they don't know how to do it. And I will tell you a story. We did several years ago a survey among students aged between 18 and 25. And we asked them a simple question. You have three activities. One is buying a smartphone. The second one is planning a vacation. The third one is planning your career. To what activity, to one of the activities you are spending most of the time. And we're very surprised to see that number one was a smartphone. Number two was vacation, planning a vacation. And number three, but quite far from the two others, was planning the career. So we return to the subject of the survey and ask them why, because it is probably the most important thing of your life. Why you spend so little time about your career? And the answer was, I don't know how to do it. Very simple. We are not giving the right tools for the young people to plan their career. And the consequence, one of the consequences of this situation, that more than 24% of the students switched study paths during their first year of higher education. And this is a situation in France. And we have similar statistics around the world. So it's a problem for the students. It's a problem for the university. It's a problem for the image of university, and it's a problem for the self-esteem of the student. So what is the solution of this situation that I present? It is essential to turn students into actors of their university curriculum. Let's be clear about it. As a member of university, we don't have the resource to do it by ourselves. We don't have the time, we don't have the budget also. So we need to give the students the possibility to take the responsibility on their career. And we need to help them to identify more precisely what motivates them, the professions, occupations that match them, and the skills they need to develop in order to be able to access this profession. To sum it up, we need to improve their employability. And to improve their employability, we have a method that we will after describe in our tool, how we do it. I want the student to be to become an expert on oneself. I want him and her to be expert of what I like to do, what I think I can do, what are my strengths, what motivates me, what is my mindset. Mindset is very important to develop future competencies, future skills, where I stand regarding the skill of the future. And all this, it's in real, had to be done much before they enter the university, but it's not the case. So the case, we need to give them the possibility to do it now in order to reinforce their image and the image of university. How can we do it? We built what we call a career thinking process. It's called Which Career for Me? And it's built on three main parts. First part is to explain them the career planning, the key concept of the career planning. What is career planning? What are mistakes to avoid in career planning? How to do it correctly? It's like training on the concept of career planning. The second part, it's okay. Learn to be expert of yourself. Learn to understand your professional interest. What interests you? What are your key motivations? What are your strengths? Where do you stand with the skill of the future? What is your mindset? What kind of company style is the most adapted for you? And after, we are explaining to the user the labor market. So from one side, he starts to be expert of himself, of herself. From the other side, he starts to be expert of the labor market. And after, we make the projection. We take the student into the world market and see what match him, what are the best match for him in this labor market. And we build with them and we help them to build a professional project. How we do it? We do it with a platform, online platform that is called, as I mentioned it before, Which Career for Me, in which they have a career space. in which they can explore and interact with the results. It's working on smartphone, computer, tablet, as they wish. It's a cloud system, so it's also the confidentiality is very, very high level. They have 50 training video of key concept of how to build my career, how to understand the results. They have 5 psychological tests that were validated, of course. Interest, motivation, strengths, mindset, skill of the future. It's about 30 minutes, the length of, to take the tests. After, it's much more to understand the results. The platform is in French, English UK, English US, Italian, German, Dutch, Spanish, and Portuguese, and more language are to come in the near future. Now, in this system, we have also a smart matching system. What is a smart matching system? We codified more than 2,000 occupations, the most important occupation in the labor market. And what I mean codified, we identified the key interest, key motivation, and key strengths that are important to succeed in this occupation. And in this 2,000 occupation, we have also all the new occupation, IT and not only IT. For each occupation, we identified the best link website that describe this occupation globally and by country. Country is according to the language in the left of that we describe, French, German, Dutch, and etc. For the countries that are not in those languages, we have also ESCO. ESCO is a European Skills, Competencies, Qualification, and Occupation. It's the biggest database in Europe, in which they can have all the information needed, what training they need, what education they need, what certification they need in order to accede to this occupation. And this is in the local language. All the language of the European community, European Union, are inside. We have all the language. We have about 30 different language in this ESCO. And another thing that we are, sorry, we are giving with this platform, it's for university. This time it's not for the students, is a statistical mapping of the students, meaning we can have a statistical mapping of a cohort, a statistical mapping of a program, a statistical mapping of a year, of a specialization, of what we want. And in this statistical mapping, we can see their level of what interests them, what their motivation, their mindset, the level of the mindset, level of skill of the future. We have many information that are very useful for the university to map, to understand. So before we are presenting more concretely how to do it, I want to present the scientific motivation, foundation of Which Career for Me. We started, Yves Durand and myself, we started to work together in 1992, and we are both psychologists, as Paul described it better before. We started our work on motivation and interests and career planning, career thinking in the University of Paris-Descartes. After we moved to the French National Center of Scientific Research, and we built the first career computerized tool in France. It was called, his name was DIMEF. It was recognized as being of pedagogical interest by French Ministry of Education. After following the success, we start to have a very strong collaboration with Professor Michael Porter from the Harvard Business School to develop all the career concept, also to the field of strategy and business strategy. After Yves start to specialize, to be expert in online application, and me, I moved to be the Dean of the University of Derby in Israel for 8 years. In 2011, we create Motiva. And to Motiva is all methodology is a basic platform to build career for young and less young people. We published our book in 2015 about our theory about motivation. It was a bestseller in France. Why motivation is a responsibility of each one of us, and why the career, our career, it's our responsibility, not the responsibility of our parents, of our university, of our education system. We take the responsibility and we offer to them the possibility to do it. We got the prize of Be Digital in 2019 as the best solution to improve the well-being of people in France. And we reached 100,000 users in 2018 also. And we presented Which Career for Me, that is the solution that I'm presenting here today for young people from 18 to 25, a little bit more, a little bit less, but this is generally the range of age. So let's discover which career for me. To help us to discover, we take a real case, the case of Angela Bieber. She's 19 years old. She just started her university studies. She's wondering about her career, like many students, like many young people. She wonders which job will suit her the best and what study pathway would be best for her in order to get this job. In order to do so, she completed the Which Career for Me. And the question is she going to find her own study path? So what I described before, many aspects of being expert of oneself. So we'll dive in to see it. So the first information she will get by the platform after she's doing the psychological test, what are her professional interests? As you see, for each result, there is an explanation in the local language of how to read the result and how to understand the results. For example, the results of Angela, we see she's very oriented or very interested by service to other people, to helping other people, improve the life of other people, and organization. What is, it's called more administrative aspects of work. She's less interested by nature, by all things that are related to nature, to environment, or to science. And she's not at all interested by all the activities related to artistic, business, knowledge, and technology. In order to understand each professional interest she has, she can dip in and understand better what's the meaning of service, what's the typical profile of a service of each one of the professional fields, and what are her interests in detail. For example, here we see that what she is very interested in service to people, well-being, individual, social, family assistance, and advice to people. She's not interested in the humanitarian and rescue aspect of service. So it's a process, it's a part of the process of being expert. After, in order to reinforce the expertise and to understand her interest, she has exercise. Each student can make exercise to understand why he is interested by service. So, for example, service, volunteer in a humanitarian aid and association. Why do you like this activity? And it's not for us, it's for the person, for the student himself, to explain for herself why she's interested in this professional field. For example, organization, she liked to tidy up my room. I like to find something easily when I'm looking for it. So it's a thinking process of understanding why I want to do something. The second part of the expertise of the career thinking process is my key motivation. Again, we have the explanation by a movie, what is key motivation, why is it important, and how to read my results. And here my results are okay, what I'm looking for in a job, what I'm looking for in the work activities, what kind of company is important for me, what life value. And we can see that for Angela, for example, for her, it's the key motivation for a job is working abroad, experiencing thrills, and guaranteed fixed pay. For work activities, she wants a lot of professional travel. It's logic with working abroad. She will organize work tasks, meeting interesting people. In company, she wants a company recognized for its benefits. Agreements, aspect of value is very important for her, and respect and open mindedness is also important for her. In the life value in general, she wants to earn a lot of money. She wants to know new cultures, and she wants to contribute to the well-being of others. So it's a part of understanding. And here also she have exercise, self-exercise to understand why what's the meaning of experiencing thrill, for example. What is thrill for her? What is the well-being of others? What she means by contributing to the well-being of others? And it's for her to understand, to better understand her choice. Another aspect that we have is to understand, we want Angela to understand her strengths. What are her current strengths? Meaning, the strength is I'm interested in it and I feel I can do it. For example, she's interested in science, service organization, medicine, health science, service to people, administration, and organization. She's very interested and she feels competent to do it. So it's important, she's ready for it. But there are some things that it's a potential strength, she's not ready for it yet. She's very interested by the well-being of other people, but she doesn't feel she's able to do it now. She cannot do it now. So it is a potential strength because she has a basic foundation of interest, but she has not the competencies to do it. So it's another aspect for her to understand. After we are moving also to explain to Angela what her mindset. Mindset is very important to understand to what extent I can learn new things, to what extent I'm ready to be in adventure, in a crazy adventure. For example, it is a big theory by Carol Dweck that according to her, if I have an open mindset, I can learn new things that I thought I'm not able to do. For example, somebody in literature that is very interesting in some aspect of technology, if he has a growth mindset or she has a growth mindset, he will be able or she will be able to learn about it and to develop a competency in a field that is not at all the field in which this person is today. So this is important, and in the result we explain why it's important to have growth mindset, and later on we also add training how to improve my mindset. Another aspect that it's important for us to present to Angela, to the student, is where are you with the skill of the future? For example, Angela is very good in collaboration. She's very good in collaborations. She collaborates quickly with someone she doesn't know. She quickly finds her place in the team. She follows ideas that are not hers. She's flexible. Self-management, a little bit less. Critical thinking, she has a problem, especially approach new problem in a rational and systematic way. Time management, she's so-so. She doesn't, she has problem to stay focused without being distracted. She has a problem to meet deadlines without rushing at the last minute. Communication, she's not good in speaking in public. She needs to improve it and teach others how to do things. Creativity, she's not so good. And leadership, she doesn't feel at all. She's competent in the field of leadership, maybe motivate others, but other aspects, she's not feeling competent. Now, after she understands and explore about herself, she starts to be expert of herself. We are moving to the second part. Second part, understanding the evolution of the labor market. So it's movies, it's explanation to the students what is the labor market, what are the evolution of the labor market, what kind of companies suit them the best in this labor market. For example, for Angela Bieber, she's very keen to non-profit sector and foreigner subsidiary of a multinational. But for example, small, medium enterprise and self-employed is not, it's not suitable for her motivation and interest. So it's kind of another information to understand my position in the future labor market. And now we are moving to a very interesting part, the part that in which we took all the jobs in all the occupation in our database. We took the profile of Angela Bieber and we did a matching, very smart matching. And we found what are the occupation from the occupation that is the closest to her profile to the one that is the most far from her profile. After she sees a list, and after she can click on the list and see, we try to identify in each country and around the world the best website to describe the occupation. And I will try now to move to the website, and please give me information if you can see the website. No, I prefer to stay here, not to have a problem. As I tell you, as I described it before, we try to identify the best website to describe the job, the training needed to the job, the potential success, evolution of the occupation in the world market. And we have also here information about the qualification, about testimonial of people that are working in this occupation. So we are giving them really, there are in total about 60,000 websites that are connected to all the database. And for each occupation, we have between 5 and 7, sometimes 8 websites to help the student to understand really what is this occupation. Is it really what I think about this occupation? What is the potential growth of this occupation? What is my situation to have a job in this occupation, and etc. In order to narrow the job list, or if the list of job doesn't quite suit the person, they have a possibility to have filters, to choose by sector, to choose level of studies, to zoom into only new jobs, for example, or jobs related to IT, or job related to creativity, and to have a more precise occupational list in which they can test themselves. And after they do it, we are moving to the next step, validation of a professional project. The validation of a professional project, we are starting from choosing a job. The job by default is the first in the list, but she can choose whatever job she wants. She writes for herself why I want to do it. And after, we are helping her to find around her with localization, geolocalization, by LinkedIn, by Facebook, by Twitter, people that are working in this occupation, in this job. Like this, she can have a real testimonial and a real experience of somebody that is working. So we are moving from the theory to the practice, to really talking to a baker, if she wants to be a baker, to a doctor, to a medical, to a psychologist, according to a hospital nurse in this case, in order to validate or to get understanding of the job. After, we are helping her to find also a company around her, geographical region, geolocalization, to get an internship. Also, we are giving possibilities according to the job to find book about the job if the person wants to explore more about the job. So We have a list of the book. It's related to Amazon, but it can be related also to other websites. An indication if there is a large choice of books, it's a popular profession. If it's a few choice, rare occupation, look at book review, all date of books, all jobs. So it's more to improve our knowledge. Also, we want to give a glance to Angela about what is the situation on the real labor market for the job. Is your chosen job in demand? What type of company organization are recruiting? Compare them to your preferred style, because if it's SME, as we saw, it's not suitable for her. What skills are required? What diploma are required? Salary, working condition. We give her a real information about the reality after she finished studying. So, which kind for me, it's they come and go to test new jobs all the time after she finished the first exploration. She can return back to identify other training opportunities, other jobs, until it's an ongoing process, it's life learning process. So I will give you some, to finish the presentation, I will give you some feedback from students that did Which Care for Me. And the first one, we have some feedback from Australia.
I found Motiva really helpful because it wasn't about pinpointing you to a job, but more to the skills that you're more inclined to know whether that you use every day. So you're more inclined to know whether you're good at one thing or not good at the other.
I think Motiva was really helpful because, as Mala said, it focused on what interests we had, and it came up with a career that we can follow. So for people that don't know what they want to do, that's really helpful, and it can guide them.
Another statistics that we have also from Southeast Asia, 47% of the students here, 12 students, 18 years old, enjoy or strongly enjoyed using Motiva. So it's also a fun experience in using Motiva. In Italy, we tested in 3 schools, 17, 18 years old. On a scale of 1 to 10, will you recommend Which Care for Me of Motiva? Weighted average 8.7, median 9, so good recommendation. And we launched a few months ago Which Care for Me in UK Learns. It's an open platform during the COVID to help people around UK to do courses for free. And Which Care for Me was the most popular course on UK Learns from all other courses. So this is a glance, a very short glance on the presentation, and I will be happy to have your question and your feedbacks.
Thank you so much, Sui. I hope you can all hear me again. We've got quite some questions here, so I'll pick a few of these for you to answer. One is asked by Heather, and that's what age is the best for people to do this? So before they decide what to study, rather than in their wrong university studies. Can you?
It's an excellent question, because we were asking ourselves the same question, and we identified that the best range of age, it's starting at 16 and until 25. And for after 25, we have another version, Which Care for Me, Which Care for Me adults. That is not the same version. And so 16 to 25, we tested it in all category of age. And it's, if you are younger than 16, it's not adapted. We felt that they are too young to understand and to start to plan a career. And older than 25, there are other issues that we deal with, and it's another version of Which Care for Me.
Thank you so much. I've got here a question from Irina, and that's how can universities facilitate career-oriented education? Are there some special courses needed for this?
What do you mean? Can you explain what do you mean by special courses?
Yeah, you just showed already a course on UK Learns about Which Career for Me. Is this the only type of course you provide, or does maybe university require some more in-depth training in order to implement it?
No. What there are another possibilities that we are doing we are starting to install. It's a real course. It's a 10-meeting course to career thinking process, to develop my career thinking process. It's 10 meetings with a teacher, with a professor, with a tutor, and we help them. We are doing interactively with the students. This is a possibility. The other possibility is to put it in the website of the university, to give the students the experience to do it, to reflect about their career, about their future. And we are, in order to make it in a one-stop shop solution, we will add very, very soon training inside. For example, training how to improve my mindset, how to improve my skills, how to improve certain aspect of my motivation, how to improve my competencies in field in which I have interest, but I don't feel that I have the skills. So it will be an online also training platform, not only evaluation, but also training platform.
Thank you so much. And is this method appropriate for all cultures and countries?
Yes. This is the first thing that we ask ourselves when we build Which Career for Me. We tested it in 50 countries around the world. We started in Southeast Asia, we moved to Australia, we moved after to all Europe, to North Africa, to South Africa, to several countries in Central and South America, and to US. And we tested if we found the dimensions are very strong, because with everything we live in a global world. So the dimension of motivation, of interest are stable across countries. Of course, there are some countries that we found that the students have more orientation. For example, in France, the motivation are more oriented toward comfort. In Singapore, they are more oriented toward expertise. In Australia, they are more oriented toward looking for thrills, to excitement. But what we found that the structure, the psychological structure across country are very stable. And we tested over a few thousand of students to be sure of it.
Thank you so much. I think that's very relevant for everyone here to know. And how do you make the link between an individual's results and the university curriculum? Can you maybe say something about that?
It's an excellent question. That's the reason we add the ESCO, and we have the website, and we have also, because we are in each occupation, there is a website, leader website, that explains the study needed to exceed this occupation. And not only the big name of for example, BA on something, it's also the content you need to understand, and you need to be expert in order to exceed and to have success in this occupation. So it's almost name of courses. And this is an exploration that the student can do with the website we are giving them, we are offering them. And it's an important, also there is things that in the beginning, we gave them the information directly. And after we say, maybe better to make them work a little bit, to make some effort, to take a kind of obligation of my career. So that's why they have the information, they have access to information, but they have to dedicate themselves to find it, to explore it, and to see the level of fit with them.
Thank you so much. And last question, if I would be interested in this system to implement it at my own university, can you maybe concretely show like how that works?
There are several options. One is to put it in the website of the university, very simply, with only students of the university can access a solution. One, to give access to the Pearson platform in which they will have access with a code. So it's since it's cloud, it's very easy to give access. It's really according to the need of university. Can be in the website, can be external, can be as a university wish. It's very easy to implement it.
Okay, thank you so much, Zvi. I think that's all for now. Also looking at the time, so I would like to thank you very much for this presentation. And when I look to the comments here, many people think alike. So thank you again. Let me share my screen again to talk a little bit.
Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Same to you. Same to you. Okay, so thank you, everyone. It's, of course, not the end of the day. As you have seen in the introduction, we have 3 more very exciting sessions coming. And the next one will be about critical thinking. I can really highly recommend you to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, as for the other sessions that follow. You can do this by visiting the website of the event that you can see here. And please use the registration link in the confirmation email you received for any of the following sessions. So it's not this link that you use, but the ones that are mentioned in the confirmation email that you got. If you have any other questions about this session specifically after this, please send an email to ihef@pearson.com, and I will make sure that the right Pearson colleague get back to you as soon as possible. That's it. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you all back in 15 minutes for the next session. Thank you. Bye-bye.